Norman?
Marcy.
Jessica.
Leilani.
Hi, my name's Amanda, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about whether or not teachers and students should be friends on Facebook. So first, in a news article on My San Antonio News Online, over the past 3 years, Texas has seen an increase in inappropriate teacher-student relationships, up to 27% increase, from 141 reported cases up to 179 reported cases in the most recent school year. In another article on Indiana news station WTHR, we see a very recent report where a teacher lost his certification after a mother of a 15-year-old checked her daughter's Facebook and found inappropriate Facebook messages between the teacher and the student. The judge in this case said that the teacher misused the trust given to him in his position as a teacher. And at this time, the school does not have a clear-cut policy on social media communication between teachers and students. Stories like this one are beginning to sound less and less unusual. So today, we're going to talk about the inappropriate relationships between teachers and students that are driven by social media, the alternatives that are suitable for professional communication between teachers and students outside of the classroom, and how the negative outcomes are going to increase if continued use of Facebook between teachers and students for communication. So first, we're going to talk about why teachers should not be friends with their students on Facebook. Terry Miller of Stop Educator Sexual Abuse, Misconduct, and Exploitation says in an article on NBC News at today.com that Facebook perpetuates blurred boundaries and sexual misconduct. Adults are speaking to children like they would not in a face-to-face conversation, and while online, it's easy to forget who you're talking to. In an article on chicagonow.com, an English teacher blogs about Facebook and inappropriate relationships. He talks about how Facebook is intended to communicate between family and friends, and it's not for professionals. When you share family photos, holiday parties, jokes, etc., you begin to build an unprofessional relationship with your students. Teachers also get uncomfortable when they see questionable posts by their students, and teachers begin to be seen as friends and not teachers in the classroom. In an article on FamilyCircle.com, it talks about how Facebook is able to have connections anytime, anywhere. For teachers and students, this means that it's direct and unsupervised contact. The majority of teacher-student relationships now are involving cell phones, texting, and or social media. It starts as a small misstep. The student adds the student teaches the teacher like a confidant. The student shares too much, and it ignites an inappropriate relationship between the two. In an article on the WashingtonPost.com, we see how social media is a gateway for classroom predators. In 2014 alone, there were 781 reported cases of teacher-student sexual relationships. And at least 36% of those use social media to start or continue. 3 examples in that article are a Louisiana vice principal who was charged after soliciting nude photos from a 15-year-old student on Facebook, a Florida teacher who used Facebook to solicit sex from at least 4 of her students, and a counselor in Texas who used Instagram to ignite a relationship. Next, we're going to talk about alternatives to Facebook and other appropriate ways of communication for teachers and students online. In an article with the National Education Association, they give us some alternatives to Facebook and social media, which are the Apple Classroom 2.0, Educate Interaction, and eledblog.com. New York City schools now have developed a guideline for social media use. This includes the teachers have to have separate professional and personal accounts. The sites have to be school-based, and the parents of the students must be notified when their children can participate in social media activities. In an article on click2houston.com, the Texas Education Agency makes webisodes as training tools for their teachers. Examples of behavior that may be borderline crossing the line, and they give how poor decisions can lead to serious consequences, and they do this in an entertaining and informative way. Last, we're going to talk about what can happen if teachers and students continue to use Facebook for communication. In an article on usnews.com, tells us about the negative outcomes of Facebook friendships between teachers and students. Facebook begs for inappropriate behavior to begin. Facebook is for socializing, not related to school, much like meeting your students in a bar. Boundaries soon become blurred. Students start to see teachers as peers, and it starts to tarnish the teacher's authority in the classroom. So in summary, we're going to talk about reasons why teachers and students should not be friends. We went over substitutions for online teacher-student communication, and we went over the negative effects if teachers and students continue to befriend each other on Facebook. Now is your chance to protect your children. Teachers friending students on Facebook needs to stop. So far, over 40 school districts have passed policies so you should propose or support a policy in your district. Wouldn't you do anything to prevent an inappropriate relationship or sexual abuse sustained by social media happening to your child? That's it, folks.
Marcy.
You guys don't have to speak.
I don't think so.